is actually a word in Swahili, and it means to understand. The world is changing, the job market is changing, and you need to understand the changes that are coming in yourself in order to stay relevant. So, Elewa means to understand, and we believe that education can be meaningful and enjoyable. What does that mean? Meaningful doesn't mean very much. And from our experience with an operation in Kenya, one here in Brussels, and the start of one in Minnesota, is that meaningful is something different to everyone. There is no single meaningful. Every culture, every community has its own particular needs for their education. So what we do is we work with each community to ensure that they have the solutions that they need. Our job isn't to deliver education, it's to help other people deliver the education that they need. By owning their own education, it can become a sustainable part of their society. In Brussels, we believe that the problem of employment is going to be a big issue. Just in the last 3 weeks, Carrefour fired over 1,200 employees. Meanwhile, there's over 140,000 jobs in the tech sector going unfilled. So what we have here is 10 to 12-week programs where we train people with the skills to stay relevant, 21st century skills. These include programming, we teach entrepreneurship, critical thinking, and problem solving. And we work directly with the companies in Belgium that are lacking in employees to design curriculum that will teach precisely what is needed, enabling a smooth exit to the job market. So that is Elewa, that's what we're doing here in Belgium. And then about me. As he already told you, I planned on doing a doctorate in neuroscience. I did 2 years of research, and that's what actually brought me here to the ULB. I was hoping to learn how people think and learn so that we could empower everyone to become their best selves. But what I realized is that's not the problem. We know enough about how people learn and how people think. But what we don't know is how to do that. There just isn't enough quality implementation. So when it came time to apply to grad schools, I didn't apply. Instead, I found a job here in town teaching programming. I did that for a year. And I also learned the importance of a strong business plan and a scalable solution. The type of thing that can actually have an impact. Right around when I was realizing that my particular mix of experience and drive and my opportunities led me towards social entrepreneurship, that's also when I met Mike and Yente. They're the original co-founders of Elewa, which began in Kenya, where they work with universities and secondary schools to improve the quality education. We all had the same idea of how education should be delivered and how to get there. And that's where this Belgium operation came from. So, what is a social enterprise? Why do we do this? I'm in a room of the future. You're all studying innovation management, so I'm sure you all have an idea of what it is. But that's the problem. You all have your own ideas. So I'm going to tell you my idea of what we believe and how we implement it, so you can get another perspective. At the bottom, you need a shared vision of the better future. We have it. We believe education can be meaningful and enjoyable, and we believe that every community has the capability of delivering their own education. Now, the next problem is we need to redefine what added value means. Right now, in the job market, you're more rewarded if you work in an industry where there's more capital. This brings people out of the social sector and into things like the financial sector, where we have a lot of misallocation of resources. The most talented and driven individuals in our society aren't necessarily working to make our society better. So we would like to make entrepreneurship and social missions something that both earns a lot of money and makes a big difference. In order to attract the human capital that we need, in order to achieve a vision like ours, you need a lot of very talented, very creative individuals. You need them all pointed towards the same future. Only with this sort of teamwork can you get the innovation that's necessary, that's off-center, to get the true sort of sustainable interventions that we need for the future. We don't need money poured into developing countries. We need the countries themselves to learn how to support themselves. These are the sort of sustainable interventions that I believe we can only get through a social entrepreneurship approach, where we attract the most talented individuals into the most pressing problems. We are currently at a time to scale. We're past the growth pains in both Nairobi and Brussels. In the coming year, we're planning on expanding our course offerings here. We have research connections with the VUB, and finally, we have a lot of connections with companies in town. So we're hoping to scale our 21st century boot camps, where we teach entrepreneurship and programming, up to at least 100 students in the coming year. In Kenya, they are planning on growing their operations to include more universities, expanding them to secondary schools and primary schools. And as you are all the kinds of people that we need, if you're interested, come talk to me. We're always looking for people to help us figure out how education can be delivered, people to actually deliver it, and people to run and grow our business. Thank you.
He traded his guns for love, but he's caught in the crossfire. And he keeps waking up, but it's not to the sound of birds. The tower